last night I lay a-sleeping, there came a dream so fair. I stood in old Jerusalem, beside the temple there. I heard the children singing, and ever as they sang, I thought the voice of angels in heaven in answer rang. I thought the voice of angels from heaven in answer rang. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, lift up your gates and sing, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna to your King. And then I thought my dream was changed, the streets no longer rang. Hushed were the glad hosannas, the little children sang. The sun grew dark with mystery, the morn was cold and chill, as the shadow of a cross arose upon a lonely hill. As the shadow of a cross arose upon a lonely hill. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, lift up your gates and sing, Hosanna in the highest, Hosanna to your King. And once again the scene was changed, new earth there seemed to be. I saw the holy city beside the tideless sea. The light of God was on its streets, the gates were open wide, and all who would might enter, and no one was denied. No need of moon or stars by night, or sun to shine by day. It was Last night I lay a-sleeping, there came a dream so fair. I stood in old Jerusalem, beside the temple there. I heard the children singing, and ever as they sang, I thought the voice of angels in heaven in answer rang. I thought the voice of angels from heaven in answer rang. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, lift up your gates and sing. Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna to your King. And then I thought my dream was changed, the streets no longer rang. Hushed were the glad hosannas, the little children sang. The sun grew dark with mystery, the morn was cold and chill, as the shadow of a cross arose upon a lonely hill. As the shadow of a cross arose upon a lonely hill. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, lift up your gates and sing. Hosanna in the highest. Hosanna to your King. And once again the scene was changed, new earth there seemed to be. I saw the holy city beside the tideless sea. The light of God was on its streets, the gates were open wide, and all who would might enter, and no one was denied. No need of moon or stars by night, or sun to shine by day. It was the new Jerusalem that would not pass away. It was the new Jerusalem that would not pass away. Jerusalem, sing for thine is
Shalom, everybody. I'm happy everybody's listening. A lot of people on social media, and we are on 7 platforms tonight. Am I too loud out there for you guys? You guys okay? Okay, so this is not a church service. This is an now it's too soft. It's an informational meeting. So you are here in the sanctuary. We have our coffee and snacks here tonight. So I invite those of you that are watching tonight, any kind of way through any of our social media platforms. I lost you now, Aaron, son. You took me down too low. Sorry, we're getting this straightened back out. Okay, good. Leave it right there. So I'm happy for all of you that are on. Let's try that again. Shalom. Shalom, mishpaha. Okay, there you go. You already know a little Hebrew right there already. Okay, and everybody that is on tonight, on any of our social media platforms, if you're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, whatever you are on tonight, welcome. We're very happy you're here. If you're on Facebook, however, please share, comment, and like. My greatest joy will be able to go home in 1 hour and be able to read all of your comments. Even if you're here in the sanctuary tonight, those of you that are joining me in here, you can feel free to follow along on Facebook and drop any comments there that you'd like to, okay? So, we are here tonight. I always tell people, make sure everybody knows two things. Number one, what are we here for? Well, we are here because, well, in part, because I'm missing Israel so bad that I wanted to just stir up the gift and a little bit of excitement and to invite you to go. Maybe if this is not your year to get to go, you at least have the information now on this beautiful Sunday and you'll go another time. Additionally, how long is this going to last? That's the second thing. 1 hour. So we'll be finished, and I got a lot of ground to cover. You are in for a treat. So, welcome everybody. Welcome in the sanctuary, and welcome everybody that's watching on any platform that you're on tonight. It's been a wonderful day here at the Lighthouse. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for your goodness and your mercy. Thank you because you said those that love Israel, Father, you said those that love Israel and bless Israel, you would bless them. You would prosper them. So tonight, everybody that is joining us from around the world, we literally have people from Asia, we have people from Europe, people from all around the world that are online with us right now. They're telling me, additionally, all the beautiful people that are in the sanctuary with me. Bless each one as we learn and see the beautiful sights of Israel. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, I'm going to move really quickly. I'm going to put a lot of stuff up on the screen. Those of you that are watching, it'll come up on your screen as well. A lot of video footage, a lot of still pictures. I want to see in the sanctuary who has been to Israel before. Pastor Norman, Pastor Millie, keep your hand up. Pastor Norman, Pastor Millie, are you going back with me? Okay, good. Sister Diane, you going back? Good. Sister Tanya, I don't go without you hardly anymore. All right, she's going to, is this your third time? Third time. It seems to me it's like your sixth. Okay. Pastor Sherry, you're going back, right? Good. Mother, and this is your third time. Third time, and you're going back. Mr. Jonathan, and you're going back. Where else? I want to make sure I saw everybody. Suzette, I'm so happy you're going, Suzette. And of course, Pastor Bailey, you've been there with me a dozen times at this point. Okay, so let me know in the comments section if you've never been and you're anticipating and you can't wait to go. And those of you who have never been, I hope tonight we whet your appetite. So, my story with Israel, how I fell in love with it, here's the brief recap. Linda and I were in debt. This will be a little redundant. Some of you can tell the story. We had 23 credit cards maxed to the top. I remember the night we were at Red Lobster, 95th and Southwest Highway, and I couldn't charge our dinner. I went to charge, and they said denied. And nothing hurts worse than trying to play big and little catches up to you. So I had to leave Linda there while I went to the Jewels to cash a check. And I was cashing a check at the Jewels to cover the check at the Dominick's that I had written earlier that day. Our lifestyle had become bizarre and crazy, robbing Peter to pay Paul, 23 credit cards maxed to the top. That was the night that I said, no more, this is the end. That was many, many years ago. I began to look in the Word of God how to get debt-free. This was really my journey of Israel, how to get debt-free. But I didn't tie the two together for a minute. As I started reading in the Word of God the biblical principles of tithing and giving and getting debt-free, I realized Israel was connected to that because the Bible said those that bless Israel, He would bless them. I remember telling Linda, I don't know anything about Israel, but we may as well start praying for Israel and blessing Israel. Even though we knew nothing, I knew nothing about Israel. What I knew as a country, but that was literally about all I knew. I knew, Jesus was born there, but I had just very, very little. And I'd been a preacher for many years. So we started praying for Israel, blessing Israel. We started on Yom Kippur sowing seed to Israel, which we've continued to do for years and years. The long story short, Linda and I were able, no bankruptcy, no foreclosure. To this day, in fact, I've written a book about it, unadulterated blurb right there. If you haven't got the book on 5 Simple Steps to Financial Freedom. I still look back, though, and there are parts that I don't know how it all happened. It was just a God thing. We paid off all 23 credit cards, 100%. We eventually paid, and every year we were sowing at Yom Kippur, which was a big, big thing for us because that was connected to the highest, holiest day of Israel. And Elder Pete, will somebody make sure I'm going to get to see all the people on Zoom, because right now all I'm seeing is myself. And there we go. Thank you so much. Thank you, Christy. Okay, whoever's running that. Now I see myself again. Anyway, we started paying off those credit cards. 23 credit cards paid off, and eventually our home mortgage, our car payments, 100% debt-free. And then I realized this thing works. It's because of that I fell in love with Israel, not just because of being debt-free, but the blessing that came on our life for blessing Israel. So that's why I go so often. I started leading tours when I knew very little about Israel, probably 30 years ago. Since that time, I don't even know now how many times I've been to Israel. I've filled several passport books and had to get new passports. I go every 2 years. Last year was the first time we didn't get to go because of COVID. So the beautiful part is they have, wow, it's wonderful to see all of you that are online. There's a lot of people tonight online. Thank you. They're showing me all the pictures and numbers now. Thank you so much for that. Sorry, I got distracted looking at all of them, and I want to see them, so keep it right there. What was I saying? Which thing was I on? Oh, we didn't get to go in 2020 because of COVID. The beautiful part, this is where I was, the travel agency, the only travel agency that I've worked with for all these years, Bell Wholesale, because she is Jewish, she's from Israel, the owner, Madeline Cohen. I've only worked with her ever because of her integrity, and literally she has moved heaven and earth for all of our trips to make everything flawless. Pastor Donna has worked with her alongside me. Pastor Donna is our missions pastor, and I assigned her this task years ago, and Pastor Donna Bailey has been right by my side for every one of these trips. The beautiful part is they did not raise the price. The government of Israel, this is a miracle, you all. The government of Israel said, whatever you gave people their tour prices for last year, you cannot raise the price or we will pull your tour license. So that was a beautiful thing, because each time it tends to go up a couple, probably $100, $200, I don't know. It tends to go up a little bit each time. Up until this time, I have never, this is something I do from my heart. So it was, if you have the flyer, if you didn't get, maybe Pastor Adam will get those from the lobby for me really quickly and distribute them to those that are in the sanctuary, just to refresh your memory. This has the itinerary on it. You can access this on the group page of the Lighthouse Church Israel, okay? So go to the Lighthouse Church Facebook, and on there is an Israel page. Everybody in the sanctuary, I encourage you to join that Facebook page so that you can see all the information and updates, because now we are going this year, and they couldn't raise the price. So many people were already paid for last year. The beautiful part, if you didn't register and now you want to go and you want to go this year, you're going to get in on the same price as everybody who paid for last year. It's $38.95. That's all inclusive. That means literally you could leave O'Hare Airport with me the night that we leave, and you don't have to take 5 cents more. Now you're going to want to because of buying souvenirs and etc. But it includes all your meals. It includes everything, your hotel, your transportation, your tips, Everything. It's an all-inclusive, so you don't have to think about money, okay? Pastor Adam's coming down the aisle. I'd like everybody to take one of those flyers. And on the back side is the full itinerary of payment. So I want to cover that tonight. It is an all-inclusive, $38.95. And this is not a vacation. Everybody say this is not a vacation. Say this is a pilgrimage. Okay, they're going to print some more out for you all. This is not a vacation, it's a pilgrimage. And the reason that I say that, those that have been with me can tell you, you're on the move. We're up early in the morning, but you can go on vacation another time. So to go to Israel, how many of you here in the sanctuary are registered to go already? You are already registered to go. Wonderful, beautiful. Okay, so you'll find that our nights are short and our days are long. But it's going to be the most amazing experience of your lifetime. Start now. That's the next thing I always tell everybody. Start now. Getting in shape, meaning go to the gym. The weather's breaking. Get outside. I don't know where in the world you're watching me from. I know we have people online from all over the world tonight. So if the weather is getting better where you are, start walking now. Don't wait till the week before. We will be walking every day, quite a lot. So you're going to want to have good shoes on. Now, Pastor, I can't walk that well. Well, if you walk at all, you'll be able to handle this because we don't walk it all at once. We walk, then we get back, we go to a site, we get back on the bus, we drive. We get off, we go to a site. So it's back and forth. It's not all at once. However, you are going to walk 5 to 7 miles every single day. So it's wonderful exercise. So, but start now. Start going around your block. Get you good, comfortable shoes. Don't wear new shoes to Israel. Bring your broken ones. Additionally, we go at the most beautiful time of the year. Because I've been going to Israel so many years, the perfect time for Israel. Can you all tell I love to talk about Israel? Okay. So the reason we go at November is because it's the desert. You understand? Israel is the desert. So it can be in the summer, and Jesus help us. I led a tour one time in June. Before I really started knowing, Lewis, what Israel was like, I led a tour in June. The hottest day was 118 degrees. It's the desert. But their winter is November. So that's why I take you in November. Everybody that's been with me for the last 20 years, we've gone in November, they can tell you, right, Suzette, the weather is magnificent. It's about 75 degrees every day. What'd you say? Yeah, no rain. No, because it's the desert. So it's 75 degrees and sunny just about every day. So the weather will be magnificent in November. You're not going to bring dress-up clothes. Because it's, again, your shorts, T-shirts, and gym shoes or comfortable clothes. Now, there might be a night that we will do a nice dinner, and you might want to put on something a little bit nicer. But the point is, you're not going to a fashion show. So you're not trying to get, your hair all whatever. You are going scaled down. You don't need to worry about makeup, jewelry. Literally, you're going to be on the move, all right? So that's the weather situation. I will be able to guide you through what I always wish somebody would have done for me, and of course, nobody did it. I had to learn it the hard way. Everybody that's been with me can tell you, when we go to a certain site, I will say to you, buy this souvenir. I like to guide you to things that are reminiscent of that site. For instance, when we go to Cana, which is where the first wedding or the marriage, at Cana, I say, buy something that represents if you aspire to get married. Buy something, buy communion cups for your eventual wedding, or buy something pertaining to that location. So I guide you through everything. We are all connected by earpieces. You wear something called a whisper. It's an in-ear. We'll give it to you when you get there, and I rent them for you, and you put it in your ear, and no matter what, where we're at, I'll be talking to you on a microphone, and you'll hear me. So there's many places that we go in where, I can't be talking loud like this, so I'll be talking like this, but you'll hear me in your ear, and it's very, very convenient. So we've tried to, you are the recipients of many, many years of work getting ready for me to lead tours. And there'll be other places that I'll take you where jewelry, for instance, I brought in here tonight one of my cherished ring that I have that has my name. I don't know if they can push in the camera. I don't know how close they can push that in. But this is a cherished possession of mine. I rarely wear it. But it is my name in Hebrew. They will a place that I will take you will do custom jewelry. It says Daniel in Hebrew. The most pure diamonds in the world are in Israel. The Netanya Diamond Factory, you might want to Google that at some point, is in Israel. So we will do not just sightseeing, but you will have time, not a tremendous amount. Those that have been with me can also tell you, I don't give you a tremendous amount of time to buy souvenirs, but I'll tell you, I'll guide you to who, what, and then say, let's go, we got to go because we're getting to the next place, okay? So I want to take you tonight, after those logistics, I want to take you on an actual tour of Israel. So I will call out to JK, who is back in our media room, and we will go through. I'm connected to the things he's going to put up. JK, we're going to start with the bus rides, and they're going to play it on mute, but you'll see us even on the buses. This will bring back a lot of memories to some of you. In fact, you can unmute it, Aaron, if you, it's in slow motion for some reason. Okay. So we start early in the morning, and we are on the bus. We have devotion on the bus. I see you, Sister Tanya and your mom. I see you on there. So that's probably very early in the morning. There's Pastor Franzik. This is from my last tour. So the buses you see are beautiful coach buses, air conditioned. Everything is very beautiful for you. He'll continue to play. I think we have a couple of, I want to just start right away on the bus rides. I can tell you this, some of the greatest joys you will have will be in the devotions we have on the bus. We have had some amazing visitations of the Holy Spirit just on bus rides. So I was last year going to take 500 people, which was 10 buses, 50 on a bus. These are amazing, beautiful coach buses. That's me in the front seat of one bus, and our tour guide from Israel, Mark, was to my right there on that bus. So we've had some amazing visitations of the Holy Spirit, even on those bus rides. It's amazing. Some of the places that we will be going, we start with, we land in Tel Aviv. We fly direct from Chicago to Tel Aviv. Most of us. This year, Pastor Donna, I believe I'm correct in saying this. This year, because there's so many going to go, they may have half of us fly direct from Chicago to Tel Aviv, and half will go through Istanbul, Turkey, and change planes and have a little layover. If you are not, how can I word this? Both things have an advantage. If you get an opportunity and they ask you which flight you'd like to go on, if you want to just get there, you take the 11-hour flight direct, you'll be on the flight for 11 hours, and you'll be to Tel Aviv. I personally love to go through, we fly Turkish Airlines, which is the one I've flown for years and years. It's the most beautiful, very, very plush. When you get on, usually there are bakers in the aisle or fresh candies that they're coming. It's not like American planes. It's just totally different. They're very hospitable. We fly from Chicago to Istanbul, Turkey. I like to do that because, in fact, I'm very excited, Pete, because the new airport is open in Istanbul. I'm anxious to see it. The world's largest airport just opened in Istanbul, Turkey. It is absolutely breathtaking and amazing. In the airport, there's a Porsche dealership, Ferrari dealership. I mean, there's all these car dealerships in the airport. Midway and O'Hare. Anyway, so it's not like airports that we even know about. I mean, they're just, it's amazing. So I like to go through Istanbul. Usually we get about a 6-hour layover so you can run around that airport and see. And then you visited another country. So you've been to Turkey then. Then we fly from Turkey, from Istanbul to Tel Aviv, which is about another 2.5 hours. So if you're up for that, I recommend that you do that, all right? Yes, your feet are going to be swollen, but you'll be okay. When we start, when we start walking, you drink some water and you'll be fine, all right? Lay off the salt. Okay. Some of the places, so we leave Tel Aviv. We immediately that night, we land in Tel Aviv. Those of us that will be going through Istanbul, if you fly direct, you're going to beat us there. You're going to be to the hotel before us. We'll be about 6 hours behind you because of that layover. We arrive probably 10-ish at night at the beautiful hotels they put us in Israel. This is the beautiful part about Israel. Every Israeli is going to be fully vaccinated. It's not like America where they have, everybody here kind of has a choice. Everybody there is getting the vaccine because tourism is their big thing. So they will be fully vaccinated by May, by the beginning of May, the entire country. So Israel has some of the lowest COVID rates. So they're just about to be on the other side of this. In fact, I just read 60% of all Israelis have already been vaccinated. So they're very anxious for tourism to kick back off. We get to the hotel. The hotels are all inclusive, meaning your room, all of your meals, it's buffet meals. Every meal is buffet. Years ago when I started going to Israel, the food was whack. I mean, I would take a suitcase full of Reese's and all kinds of stuff. Now they cater to Westerners. So the food is, it is outrageous. It's amazing. You're going to eat a lot, especially if you like to eat healthy. You're going to eat a Mediterranean diet. Lots of salads, lots of fish. But if all else fails, you're going to have bread till your head falls off. They have every kind of imaginable bread. I literally have lived in Israel for 10 days on bread because I'm not a fish eater. So, but the food is going to be spectacular. All right, so we go to Jerusalem. We start our tour in Jerusalem. From Tel Aviv Airport up to Jerusalem will take us about an hour. In Jerusalem, these are some of the places that we will start seeing in Jerusalem. Let's go to the Via Dolorosa, JK, and I want you to see as we walk the Via Dolorosa, which is the way of the cross. Now, JK emailed me as he was putting these slides together. He said, the calves of my legs are burning just remembering this because I shot a docuseries here and it is a lot of, steps. And they're all, remember this is the old city of Jerusalem. Some of these stairs are back from Herod's time, so they're not all consistent. And so he had to walk with a camera crew backwards because I was talking to the camera. They walked all those stairs backwards. Carrying cameras. That's me filming in the Via Dolorosa, the way of the cross. There's all kinds of shops, though I don't let you have too much time to shop in them. The main thing is I want you to feel what it was like walking the way of the cross, the Via Dolorosa. So along the way, there'll be a lot of different churches. The Catholic Church maintains most all of the sites in Israel, along with the Greek Orthodox. When I first started going to Israel, I was like, my God, everything is Catholic. Everything is, what's all the shrines? But our tour, the lady that owns Bell Wholesale, she put me in order years ago. She said, Pastor Don, think of it this way. She said, I know that you're not into all the shrines and all that, but she said, there's been so much war in Israel. If the Catholics and the Greek Orthodox had not intervened to preserve the sites, there'd be nothing to go see because war has destroyed so much of Israel. So they preserve it all. JK, did you go through all the still pictures already? You did? I thought I just saw video footage. Okay, so you went through all the stills. All right, beautiful. Let's go from there. Let's go to the Garden of Gethsemane. All of this is in Jerusalem. These are the places we will go in Jerusalem. The Via Dolorosa, and then we will eventually find our way to the Garden of Gethsemane. And I always think of Sister Tanya, Elder Tanya, when I'm in the Garden of Gethsemane, whether she's there or not. Somehow I remember an encounter she had with the Lord at one of the trees there. This is the actual Garden of Gethsemane. When you are there and you're realizing, I am right here where the Bible comes to life. You are there where Jesus prayed, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. You are in the place where this all happened. It is a feeling you will never forget as long as you live. The only feeling you will leave with is, I want to go back, because that's the feeling you're going to have. Many people go back with me, multiple times. I'm filming there when I was shooting my docuseries. This is some of what's called B-roll, where they're shooting behind me, getting different things there in the Garden of Gethsemane. So these are all things in the old city of Jerusalem. Let's go to, when you're through with that, let's go to the Pool of Bethesda, one of my favorite places in Jerusalem. As we're walking in the old city, is at the Pool of Bethesda. You remember the 5 porches? The man that laid by the pool, and he was waiting for the troubling of the water, because the Bible said at the troubling of the water, when the angel troubled the water, the first one in was made whole. Jesus comes upon him laying in one of these porches and says to him, wilt thou be made whole? And he said, I have no man to put me in. Jesus heals him. You are going to go into the actual location. As many times as I've been there, Lizanne, I cannot, and I'm so glad you won that trip, and Lisa won that trip, and Lewis won that trip. I'm so happy. When you are in those places, your mind can just hardly believe. I mean, that you're standing here in the Pool of Bethesda. They'll show you some still pictures of all of it. This is some of the filming video footage. I want to show you video footage and still pictures. Everything is a lot of stairs, but it's very convenient. Railings. If you go and you're in a wheelchair, you're welcome to go, but we've changed the rules. You must have a caretaker. You must have someone, because I'm moving way too quickly. So we've taken people that were in wheelchairs, and that's fine. But my staff that's with me helping, we're moving buses and everything. So you have to bring a caretaker for yourself, all right? Mother is, she'll be 85, and she's going with me again this year. So, but she gets around better than most 30-year-olds. But if you just get to moving this year, you're going to be perfectly fine with going. This is by the Pool of Bethesda. Again, a Catholic church that's built there. We'll go in it's the Cathedral of St. Anne, and we will sing a hymn in there. Suzette probably remembers the acoustics will blow your mind in some of these places. Okay, in Jerusalem, we will go to, we have to go to the Mount of Olives next. Mount of Olives, that's in that St. Anne Cathedral. That's the pictures he's showing you. Let's go to the Mount of Olives. Oh, Lewis, when you are standing up on my God, I have goosebumps. Pastor Sherry Marie, look at the Dome of the Rock. You see that there? When you're up on, you remember that, Pastor Norman? Up on the Mount of Olives, looking down through the valley of Jezreel. You're looking down through there over into the old walled city of Jerusalem. That's it right there. When we're standing there, now I can't preach all of this tonight, but I get to talking about it, and Mother, it is hard for me to just move past it. The Mount of Olives, you understand, was where Jesus said he's coming back to, and his feet will touch down there. And he said, in the same way you saw me go, I'm coming back again. And the Mount of Olives will split. That's in the book of Revelation, eschatology. I'll teach you all of that. That's me teaching up on the top of the Mount of Olives. It was hot that day when I was teaching. You can see I'm sweating it out. But I love it so, so much. We will walk down off of the Mount of Olives, and we will go down to the eastern gate of the old city of Jerusalem. I love it so, so much. You're seeing video footage. You're seeing still pictures. This is on the Mount of Olives. one of the most breathtaking places in the world. On the Mount of Olives, you'll ride a camel. And everybody that goes, I want you to ride a camel. Okay, so there's 2 or 3 locations where you'll be able to get on a camera. It'll be a photo of a lifetime. So on the Mount of Olives is one of my favorite places for you to take a camel ride. JK, Jillian, give me a signal when he's run through all of the pictures of Mount of Olives. Have we gone through all of Mount of Olives? Okay, beautiful. All right, one more place in Jerusalem before we leave Jerusalem, and that is, oh my heavens, the upper room in Jerusalem. I want to take you now to the upper room in Jerusalem. There's no feeling like it. We've had people baptized in the Holy Spirit in the upper room. You will have an encounter with the Holy Spirit in the upper room. Now, the problem is you have to remember, we're not the only ones in Israel. There are thousands and thousands of pilgrims that are taking the same kind of pilgrimage that we are. So the Catholic nuns that run this, when we show up and we're falling out and praising God and singing and blah, 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 usually they're moving the groups through because there's other people that want to do it. We were able to secure it for me to shoot this docuseries with not a living soul in there. You see some of the footage of where I was able to teach. We secured it. We had to pay a lot of money, but this was when I was doing my docuseries. We inevitably will share that room with lots of folks that will be there, Catholic, Greek, Orthodox, every denomination. But always there's a certain location that I like to go to. Jake, can you give me some water? There's a certain location there in the upper room that I love to go to. That's it. They're showing you right there. There's a stairwell. Now you think you're in the upper room in Jerusalem. And you're where Acts chapter 2, you're where Acts chapter 2 actually happened. When the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place. And suddenly a sound from heaven comes like a rushing mighty wind, and it fills all the house where they're sitting. There appears unto them cloven tongues like as a fire, and it sits upon each of them. They are all filled with the Holy Ghost and began to speak with other tongues as the Spirit of God gives utterance. You are literally standing in the pages of Acts chapter 2. It will be the most life-changing thing that you've ever seen. So that's in the upper room in Jerusalem. All right, now we're going to leave Jerusalem. We will be in Jerusalem 4 days. How many days will be there? 4 days. You'll be in the same hotel. You won't change hotels. You're going to be in 3 different hotels throughout the tour. The first one is the longest one, I think. 4 days, right, Pastor Donna? 4 days in the first hotel in Jerusalem. The hotel in Jerusalem is lovely. Over here's a few needed over here too, okay? All right, from there we will leave Jerusalem. We'll pack our bags early one morning. You'll have them out at the bus ready to load up. And we will start for the Galilees, which is called the Galilees. We'll be driving about 3 hours to the Sea of Galilee. There's 2 main locations we will position ourselves in. Jerusalem, and then we drive up into the mountains to Tiberias or the Galilees, where most of the Gospels were written. The most amazing place you will ever go to in your life, okay? While we are on our way there, we will stop let's go to Jericho. Joshua fit the battle of Jericho. Do y'all remember that? And the walls came tumbling down. So now we're going to take you to Jericho. While JK's pulling that up, it's the oldest known city in the world. The oldest city in the world, 10,000 years old, of where there was where they've uncovered archaeological from civilization. It is also where the Mount of Temptation, the story of the Mount of Temptation, where Satan said to Jesus, do this and I'll do this and do this and I'll do that and cast yourself down. It's going to be amazing when you see this. In the cleft, so you're looking right now at the Mount of Temptation in Jericho. It's a beautiful, pristine place. It is now this is Greek Orthodox area now. In fact, one of the oldest monasteries in the world, there it is built into the rocks up in the mount of Temptation. That's a monastery for the Greek Orthodox up in the mountains there. So you'll see Jericho. From Jericho, we will go to Nazareth. Let's go to Nazareth, JK. Nazareth was the, oh my God, I love to talk about this, and I've only got 21 minutes left. Nazareth was the boyhood home of Jesus, where his father was a carpenter. This is, you'll see, oh, this is beautiful. Keep that still right there just for a second. Many of the places we will go, you'll see reenactments. There are hired actors that reenact on a continual basis all day long as tour groups are coming through. So this is in Nazareth, some of the things that you will see there. Okay, JK, you can scroll through them now. The boyhood home of Jesus. This is Nazareth. We'll see, this is one of the places you will see some actors presenting some things back from the Bible days. Very, very amazing. Then we will go to, let's go to the Dead Sea. At some point, we will come out of Tiberias one morning, because after 4 days in Jerusalem, we moved to a hotel up in the Galilees. Tiberias is the resort town, or the resort, it's more than a town, the resort city of Israel. Many Europeans go to Tiberias to vacation. You're going to be in a 5-star resort hotel for 3 nights in Tiberias, out on the Sea of Galilee. I'll talk about that in a moment. We go from there every day out to different places. One place is the Dead Sea. This is the Dead Sea you're looking at right now. The Dead Sea is the water between Israel and Jordan, the country of Jordan. You will look across, you remember that, Suzette? Remember looking across there? You'll look across the water and you will see the country of Jordan. Now, what's unique about the Dead Sea to this day is it's receding, it's going down. However, you cannot drown in the Dead Sea. It is buoyant with salt. It is known for all its healing properties. People come from all over the world to put the mud on. I don't know if you ever use Ahava or Aveda products. Ahava or Aveda products. Well, that's little granules of the mud from the Dead Sea. You're gonna put it on. This day we'll put on our shorts, t-shirts, bathing suits, whatever, and we will coat ourselves in the mud, and we'll go down into the water. You don't have to. You'll be there with me. I do it every time. Your skin will be like, it'll return to baby skin. It is the most unbelievable experience, and you want all the experiences. So it's a lot of fun at the Dead Sea, and the stories in the Bible about the Dead Sea. It is at the bottom of the Dead Sea that Sodom and Gomorrah sits. So many, many stories unfold at the Dead Sea. All right, JK, in that first line, we've done the bus ride, the Dead Sea, Jericho, Nazareth. Did we go to the Sea of Galilee? Did we go to the Sea of Galilee? No. So up in Tiberias, let's go to the Sea of Galilee, JK. In Tiberias, the resort city of Israel, it's breathtaking. We will take I'm waiting for, they're pulling those pictures up. You're going to see it at night. Tiberias at night, the Sea of Galilee is magnificent. Those of you that are watching, make sure you're leaving your comments, all of that. I'm waiting for him to pull up Tiberias or the Sea of Galilee. We will take a boat ride. Oh, that's us eating St. Peter's fish. Go back to that picture just for a second. This will be a very special meal. This is where you'll eat St. Peter's fish. Remember the fish in the Bible that with the coins in its mouth, and so it's an experience to eat at this particular restaurant. I take everybody there. That's another beautiful thing. You're welcome. I know all the best food in Israel. I've been there so much. How many do you love falafel? Who has no idea what falafel is? You have no idea. Okay, you've got to, Mati, you've got to order from a Mediterranean restaurant falafel. Falafel, falafel. think of little hush puppies. Mediterranean food is the healthiest food in the world. They're fried like hush puppies, but it's chickpea. It's chickpea, okay? And they're deep fried, and you use hummus, baba ganoush. It's amazing. So the food is amazing there. Your bowels will move every single day. You're welcome. In fact, if the Lord moves on you too much, we will have to leave you in the hotel for the day. So I always tell people, you have to go gently with the food, okay? You have to go gently because they eat so healthy, and our American diets are not like that. So Americans get there, and it's okay. All right, JK, I'm sorry. Go back to the Sea of Galilee, would you please? Show me the stills. Please take me back. Okay, there is Tiberias at night. That's out. We're going on the Sea of Galilee on a boat. Remember where Jesus said, peace be still? Where Jesus walked on the water? This is the Sea of Galilee. To me, the most beautiful place on this planet. And you're looking up into Tiberias. Our resort will be up in those mountains there. You can scroll through different ones of them, JK. This is the beautiful, it's called, the whole region is called the Galilees. JK, you can scroll through them, please. Thank you. Beautiful sights of the Sea of Galilee. That's daytime. When you wake up every morning, our resort will be right on the Sea of Galilee. When you wake up every morning, you're going to just want to go down and walk in the beach, in the sand, and I'll be hurrying you along to eat breakfast, and we're going to move. The Sea of Galilee is, okay, Jillian, have I gone through all of the Sea of Galilee? Okay, beautiful. All right. Then we will, from the Galilees, every morning we drive out to different places. One of the places we will go is Cana. Let's go to Cana. Cana is where Jesus turned the water into wine. Elder Sydney, I cannot tell you what this will. Is Sister Kathy going? Well, the experience, I'm not going to tell you about it, but the experience in Cana is absolutely amazing. This is people. We had a prayer meeting at some place there in Cana of Galilee, a chapel there. Okay, this is people were getting delivered. It was an amazing place. This is where Jesus turned the water to wine. That's Dr. Singleton from Victory Apostolic that went with me. First time he'd ever been to Israel, and I was privileged to take him. He's the pastor of Victory Apostolic in Matson, Illinois. I took him and his wife with me the last time. This is at Cana. This is me teaching in Cana, where Jesus did his first miracle, where his mother said, whatever he asked for, just do it. You remember that story? This is Cana of Galilee. You'll be able to, you're going to love Cana. Oh, this is us doing a toast with my friend Daniel there. By the way, it is grape juice.
We invite all of you to come here to make a toast and to this cup of wine. Cheers.
Cheers.
And for the peace of Jerusalem.
Chaim.
L'chaim.
Sacha.
Sacha.
All of it. That's my television crew that went with me the last time while I was filming there in Jerusalem for 10 days. And Daniel is, I know the trusted places that we go for. That's the chapel that Daniel lets me use. Most everybody doesn't, they never get to go in that place, but he reserves that for me to be able to take our group in there. That is Cana. Let's go to Bethlehem, to Shepherd's Field. Shepherd's Field is outside of, tell me when you get transitioned. Shepherd's Field, where would you think that is? Bethlehem. Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus, where shepherds watch their flocks by night. I'm going to take you to the place where the angels would have appeared somewhere in the heavenlies over what's called Shepherd's Field. This is me teaching in Shepherd's Field in Israel, where again, this is at a restaurant. I know all the restaurants in Israel. This is us this is a chapel. That's right, Suzette. Is there sound to that? Go ahead and unmute it. There's Suzette. People from all over the world constantly coming through. Okay, you can mute it now. You can mute it now. Okay. But this is in Bethlehem. You're literally going to go to the place where Jesus was born. You're going to the birthplace of Jesus in Bethlehem. Of course, remember, everything is a shrine and all of that. But it's when you are there and you're thinking, this is the place where the stable was. As far as historians can tell us, this is the place. Even if it's not the exact location, you're in Bethlehem, so it's somewhere right in this vicinity. It's the most amazing. This is all Shepherd's Field in Bethlehem. Let's go to Caesarea Philippi. Take me to Caesarea Philippi. Caesarea Philippi is, do you remember when they built altars to the unknown God? You've ever read that in the Bible? This is some of those areas. This is where they would offer, back in the pagans, there was a lot of pagan. So this is where a lot of crazy things happened. There was sacrifice of goats, babies. I mean, the paganism was terrible. They would throw children into this pit here, is what I'm explaining in this docuseries. To this day, they do not know how deep it is. It goes so deep, they have never been able to measure the bottom of that place there. We'll go on a tour all through Caesarea Philippi. One of the best stories about Caesarea Philippi, this is the story where Jesus said, whom do men say that I am? Have you read that? And they said, well, some say thou art John the Baptist. Jesus said, but who do you say that I am? So it's just, Caesarea Philippi is, for many reasons, one of my favorite teaching places. A lot of preservation there, as you can see, in Caesarea Philippi. JK, in the first line, I went through the bus ride, Dead Sea, Jericho, right? Nazareth, Sea of Galilee, Via Dolorosa. Second row, I went through Cana, Garden of Gethsemane. I know I didn't go to Megiddo yet. I went to Pool of Bethesda, Shepherd's Field. I know I didn't go to Western Wall. I went to Caesarea Philippi. Oh, take me to Gideon Springs. Take me to the Gideon Springs. This is where the story in the Bible, a lot of the places that I take people to also are not on a standardized tour. Those of you that are aspiring to go with me, and I'm so happy all of you are here. Those of you that are watching us, I hope you go. I'm telling you, your life it'll never be the same. I take people to a lot of places most tours don't go because it's a lot. But I'm working you from morning till night because it's not a vacation, it's a pilgrimage. This is the story in the Bible where Gideon started out with 32,000 and had to keep sending them till he was down to an army of 300. And you remember the story where they had to get down and they lapped the water? The spring is so pure to this day, you're going to get to drink water out of a spring, laying on your belly, and we'll get a crane to hoist you up when you're done. Some of you will catch that later. But you at least got to put your hand in that spring. It's just amazing. This is Gideon Spring. In a normal tour, you're never going to this place. But these are places, Pastor Adam, I cannot wait for you to go. These are just places that you're preaching. I mean, it's just transformed. It's the most amazing. Remember that, Tanya? Remember Gideon, Sherry Marie? You remember that? Okay. Keep on going through Gideon. Okay, you through it. All right. Take me to, because I'm gonna go back to the second column, but take me to, I've got 4 more places. Take me to the river of Jordan. Oh, nothing in the world will be like the river of Jordan. Who in here have I baptized in the river of Jordan? Raise your hand high. Okay. A lot of you, you've gone with me. I've baptized you in the river of Jordan. This is me preparing to baptize. And you know what's amazing? If you saw how many people, who's that I'm baptizing? Mayor. Oh, that's Mayor. Okay. Pastor Frank's there with me. Pastor Franzik. Elder Pete. Reg. It's Mayor Germain being baptized in the river of Jordan. Suzette, you'll never forget that, will you? Suzette sang on our boat ride on the Sea of Galilee. You'll never forget that. The night we crossed on the boat on the Sea of Galilee, we have a church service. We only get to have 2 church services while we're there. We're doing sightseeing. One is on the Sea of Galilee. Elder Sidney, I'm going to have to drag you off that boat that night. And the other one is at the tomb in Israel. The tomb in Jerusalem. Come see the place. The empty tomb. We'll be able to have a service there. At the River of Jordan, there's me baptizing Pastor Frank. Just keep rolling all that footage. The tragedy is many people go to Israel without a pastor. Roll it again. Roll some more of that while I talk about Jordan just for a minute. Many people go to Israel. Did I see Dad Olds? Is Dad Olds online? There's so many people online. Dad Olds, I want you and Mom to go so bad. So many people go to Israel and they don't go with a pastor. And the tragedy is they go down and try to baptize themselves. So the problem is when I get there, because I take some of the biggest groups, inevitably when we're there, people are running down. They recognize that I'm a pastor baptizing, and they're wanting me to baptize. Literally, my staff has had to drag me out of there because people are running down. Chris, it's crazy. They want to get baptized, and there's nobody. They've just gone to Israel on a sightseeing, and then they realize they could have got baptized in the River of Jordan. I've literally baptized people from Asia who didn't speak one word of English, but in their full clothes, shoes and everything, saw me down there baptizing and would come down through there. Isn't that amazing? Your life will never be the same. Never. Consuela, it is going to be the most amazing thing that you've ever, when you're baptized in the River of Jordan. I baptized somebody last time and they said, I wish the rapture would just take place and I could go up from here. I got the privilege of baptizing my mother in the River of Jordan. It will be every place. I'm doing so good tonight because I'm keeping a lid on it because I want to cry every one of these places. It's so amazing. Okay, JK, in the last row, I think I went through everything. Go back to the second row and let me take you through the final places. Let me take you to the Western Wall. Go to the Western Wall or the Wailing Wall. Woo, Diane, you remember the Wailing Wall. You'll never forget it. This is the Western Wall. There, I'm teaching up, looking over it. This is the oldest remaining wall in Jerusalem where the Jews go the Orthodox Jews, it's open 24 hours a day. People are there praying for their Messiah to come. It's called the Wailing Wall because they're wailing for the Messiah. They rejected Jesus. When you go there to pray, it will be a whole different thing because he came to his own received him not. You know Jesus. So it's going to be the most amazing opportunity. My. Wow. One of my favorite places is the Western Wall. The presence of God will be just amazing. Okay, is that it on the Western? Okay, last place. Boy, we timed this really good. I have to, and this is just a few of the folks. I can't take you through everything. We'd be here all night. I'm going to take you to the Valley of Megiddo. What do you think Megiddo is? The Battle of Armageddon. That's where I'm going to take you to now for this final one. This is the final place. The experience Shelley Marie, when you are on the top of Megiddo and you are looking down where the battle of Armageddon will take place, where the book of Revelation, eschatology, the apocalypse that will happen, where it talks about how deep the blood will run from the bloodshed as the nations of the world converge upon Israel one final climatic time to destroy Israel. It is at that moment, the Bible says, that the Jews will begin to cry for the Messiah to come, and he will come to their rescue. The vastness of that valley, where the nations of the world will someday gather, not just in a hand-to-hand combat, we're well past that, but in the skies above. All of the things that the Bible talks about, that the blood will run as deep as a horse's bridle. When you are at Megiddo and you realize this is where it will all end, the battle of Armageddon, it will be a feeling like you will, I can't, none of these things. I want to take you on a virtual, because Chris, if you ever go and you see these things come to life that you've read about in the Bible, there's no way to really wrap your brain around it. You have to see it to believe it. That is a brief overview, everybody, of Israel. My time is up. I wish I could sit here and talk to you even more. But I do want to tell you two other things. First of all, if you have not registered for Israel, time to register. It is not too late to go this year, but soon and very soon, the cutoff will come of being able to register for this year. This year it is $38.95. Pastor Donna, the deposit is $300. Am I correct? Oh, that's right. The dates are passed now. So the deposit is $900. Is that what she's saying back there? Okay. So there's a schedule. You'll see it there. But the important part is they didn't raise it. The next tour will be $4,195. So you know, I want you to go. I lead these tours because I want you to see Israel. Tonight, we've made it convenient for you. If you're in the sanctuary and you want to register, Pastor Donna is going to be out in the lobby, and you can get registered with her, okay? Tonight, you can get registered in the lobby here tonight. If you have already registered and you stopped paying because of COVID, because everything kind of just hung in the balance, you got to finish now, okay? Finish paying for your trip. We are going this year. If I got to swim the Dead Sea, we are going. Lord, don't hold me to that. I don't want to swim the Dead Sea. But we're going. And I want you to make sure you follow that schedule of payment and you get paid. Get it done. So two ways. If you have not registered, you can register tonight. If you're in the sanctuary, they've got a table in the lobby. If you have further questions, Pastor Donna has been there so many times, and she's going to be out there at that table. She'll help you. They have computers out there. They're going to help you register tonight, okay? If you're watching on any of our social media platforms, Elder Pete, do they have ready to go up on the screen? Okay, so they're putting on the screen for you right now what website to go to. Since you didn't get this flyer here, so they're putting it on the screen right now. Please go to that website. We here at Lighthouse, I want to say this, make sure everybody understands this. We do not deal with your money for Israel. It has nothing to do with us. This is through a travel agency. So in the event you come along and people are like, sometimes, Pastor Dan, I want a refund. You didn't give your money to me. It's not coming to me. It goes to the travel agency. You understand? So if you ever think you might, change your mind, you might want to buy the insurance. I've never bought the insurance because I'm not changing my mind. So I go. But if you are a little shaky, you might want to, the insurance is listed on there. I don't recommend it. I mean, just if you register, let's go. But right there on your screen, those of you that are watching on any of the social media platforms, the website has come up for you to be able to register. But please do that quickly. We are starting the wheels back up. 1 year ago, we went into lockdown and we stopped the train. We stopped the train. So tonight is the first night the wheels are starting again, okay? So if you call the church office for more information, our media team is now going to put that up on your screen. They will take your information and pass it on to our missions pastor. Pastor Donna will then contact you. If you have any further questions, you don't need to talk to me. Can I say that again? If you have any further questions, you don't need to call the church and ask for me, because all of my team, they know everything that I know the logistics about for going to Israel. In fact, they know more about it than I do. I do the Bible teaching, and I'm all about leading the tour, but they know how to help you get signed up and what to do on the computer. So in the sanctuary, they can do that for you, or you can call the church. And this week, Pastor Donna and her team will get with you and help you get registered. If you say, I don't have a computer or whatever, you call the church, they'll help you, all right? But the important part is get registered. Now, I want to tell you, I told you there's two things. This is the second thing that I'm going to tell you. It is better to go to Israel, if possible, with someone. All of our rates are based on double occupancy. Do you know what double occupancy means? That means 2 to a room. So you're going to have a roommate. A male is going to have a male roommate. A female is going to have a female roommate. And that team, our missions team, and the travel company are going to assign you, and it'll be somebody from our group, but you're going to have a roommate. If you want a single private room, it is about $1,000 more. So you could, if you want a private room, you don't want to share a room for 10 days, you can do that, but add $1,000 onto it. So it is better, I think, if you can drag somebody with you, a friend that you can room with for 10 days. Tell them, hey, come and go to Israel with me. Invite somebody to go with you so that, I mean, of course, by the second night, you know the person, and that's all going to be fine. And you're going to know before we leave who your roommate is. You'll have a chance to meet them, etc. I'm sure that's how they work all of that. But if you know somebody, tell them, come and go with me to Israel in November, okay? And get yourself a roommate. You'll be able to request, I'm traveling with so-and-so, and we are going to room together, and they're going to accommodate that for you, okay? All right, so I'm going to take, if there are 3 questions and no more, and I'll repeat the question for those of you that are still online with us. 3 questions here in the sanctuary, unless anybody online has given a question, and they can run it to me real quick, those that are keeping our media team. Anybody in the sanctuary have a question of anything? Nothing is stupid, all right? And usually everybody doesn't want to raise their hand. They want to wait till I go off and then run up and hit the stage. But it's okay. You can ask me now, okay? Yes, Pastor Catherine. Real loud, Pastor Catherine. My question is, do we all have to be vaccinated before we leave? That's a great question. And I would tend to say yes. They're probably going to require you to have the vaccination before you leave. Because COVID is basically over in Israel. And so I would say they're going to probably require you to have the vaccination. Great question. So those of you that are watching, the question was, will we have to have the vaccination? I don't know for sure. Pastor Donna, have you heard anything on that? Would you find out? Pete, do you know anything on it? Okay, so we'll find out. We'll let you know that, but that's an excellent question. Second question. Who has a second question? Mother? The final payment is due July 26th. Yes. If it's later than that, you're going to have to pay late fees. So you have till July 26th to pay this off. All right? You're still getting the early bird discounted rate that was for over a year ago. Okay? So yes, by July 26th, that is when it has to be paid in full. All right? I'll take one more question. Yes. I heard the first part. If by November you are unable to go, what are the procedures? If you are unable to go, you make sure you have bought the insurance. We have nothing to do with that. People constantly come to me and it creates an awkward situation because I have nothing to do with the money. Everybody that comes to Lighthouse knows I don't deal with the money here. So it's done through the travel agency. Buy the insurance. If you have any thought at all that something could conflict down the road, buy the insurance. If you buy the insurance, no questions asked. So I would recommend you buy the insurance if you think anything. Has anybody here ever bought the insurance that's ever been with me? Yeah, see, none of us have. We've never bought. But Pastor Donna, it's on the flyer, right? Is insurance on here? I don't hear a word you're saying. Oh, when you go online to register, the insurance is there. Okay, so when you go online to register, it'll tell you the insurance. I think the insurance is probably a couple $100. I don't know because I've never bought it. So, but I recommend, because we've had people who've, for whatever reasons, I don't think outside of the insurance, I've never heard of anybody getting a refund because they just don't do it. I think you're locked. Once you're going, you're going. So but get into it with the idea, the Lord is going to give me the strength. I'm going to be able to do this and go. Listen, I'm debt free, but if I were going to charge one thing, I would charge this trip. I'm telling you, if I were going to run a credit card, which I don't use credit cards anymore, I have no debt, but if I were going to charge one thing, this is what I would charge. Those of you that are watching on any of our social media platforms, I'm telling you, it'll be the best $3,895 you have ever put on a credit card. Put it on there. And I believe by it being for Israel, God will let you pay it off. Now, I'm not going to believe for you for stupid stuff. You run down to Macy's and run up a charge card. I'm not going to believe with you for your new sweaters. All right? You on your own. But if you do this, I really believe God will, because of honoring Israel and blessing Israel. So if you're here tonight and you want to run your card, they can be, I think, do you do that, Pastor Donna, or no? How's that? Oh, they'll just get you registered. You got to do your card online. She'll walk you through all that. I told you, I know the tour stuff, the Bible teaching and that, but the logistics, you can see I'm not the one. All right. I think I answered everything. I am 10 minutes over. Thank you for your grace. Shalom. Shalom, Mishpaha. Bye-bye, everybody. Be blessed.
Last night I lay a-sleeping, there came a dream so fair. I stood